If you are a new business owner in the self-storage industry or you already have a self-storage, there's a few things that you want to keep in mind. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's Ramel New Worlds, the self-storage king and your favorite business funding and business acquisition coach. In this video, I'm going to react to another video about the self-storage business and how customers are fed up with the rising prices of rent. So yes, I am going to react to the industry in which I teach and invest. I've been in the business 9 years. Commercial real estate investor. See, most of us, we losing our own blessings because we want to get the whole pie. We want 100% of nothing.
I got business, credit, real estate. Got some assets on the market from recession up to date. I got business, credit, real estate.
Yo, I need to become more effective in less time. If it takes you 30 years to do something, I need to do it in 5. I'm not trying to wait time 30, 40 years in to retire, get a pension, then go get a second job and now work. No, I'm not doing it.
Funding for the business with a lower interest rate. I got get your LLC. You gon' need an EIN. You get verified online. A few more steps, you be right in. Get your headset in the game. We gon' need you to buy in. Execution is the loophole with the strings that we tie in.
The storage unit, you know that the prices can fluctuate, but a local customer says his kept going up and he doesn't know why. WMAR2 News' Mallory Svaste looks into these price hikes and if they're standard, because if it matters to you, it's a matter for Mallory.
Public storage customers say they're being asked to pay more, but they're not getting anything additional in return. And while they receive constant communication about these increases, they've struggled to reach someone about lowering their rates. This 7.5 by 10 foot unit is where George Wagner keeps his stuff.
Started off at $99 and $14 insurance monthly.
He chose this facility 4 years ago for the location and at the time, the price.
Then I've gotten several notices via mail and email advising me of their price increases.
The first came 18 months into the lease, then 13 months later, again in 6 months, and a year after that. You are now paying more than double.
2.5 times.
Why not search for a different unit that might be cheaper?
Depending upon travel and moving, you're looking at $600 to move.
He could get a new promotional rate by switching units, but George has a disability preventing him from physically moving his belongings.
Wow, this is a lot. So first I want to unpack from a business owner standpoint, right? I'm gonna talk about from a customer standpoint, but I wanna talk about the business owner standpoint first because you're on this channel right now because you're probably looking to buy a self-storage facility or you're already in the self-storage business. Now, if you purchased a self-storage business 5 years ago, 7 years ago, you purchased it when money was cheap, right? Interest rates were 2%, 3%, and your monthly payments were pretty low, which allow a lot of self-storage business owners to have their rents low. But now that these self-storage business owners are having to refinance because their loans are maturing, their monthly payments are going up 40, 50, 60%. So who's gonna actually have to take on that burden? The customer. So now that their monthly payments are going up because interest rates are going up and they need to refinance, they're passing down that bill to the customer, which means your rents have to go up, right? So I want to just share that so you can understand the business standpoint that it's not just, hey, we're personally looking to add all of these fees on to the customer, right? The second thing I want to say in regards from a customer standpoint, you know, these big corporate stores, these REITs like Public Storage, there's no real flexibility. You know, their goal is to increase that bottom line and increase the revenue. So, you know, you being able to negotiate and bring your rates lower, that's pretty much close to impossible because they have a system that they have to follow and it's a corporation and it is what it is. So it's not much you can do. And they understand that if you do move out, it's going to cost you time, energy, and money. And hey, if you do move out, somebody else is going to pay it. So they understand that business model. It doesn't make it right. We need to find a balance. That's why I love mom and pop self-storage businesses. That's what I purchased because we have a little bit more control and flexibility when it comes to finding a balance between having a business that makes money and also making sure that we have long clients, sustainable customers with safe, sustainable rents. All right, so I want you to look at it from both angles. Now, if you're looking at it from an investor standpoint, you didn't double your revenue within the 2 years. So that means you're hitting your pro forma projections, you're hitting your values, but you are really creating disgruntled customers. So I would advise you to operate where you don't go double in 2 years. You're gonna have to increase it, but we have to justify the increases. All right, it's very important for us to justify why we are increasing when we send our communication to our customers.
More money.
They get you with an introductory rate, and then once you're there, then they start giving you these increases.
Taryn Edmonds rented a public storage unit in Florida to house her home staging business.
It's around the 4-month marker where they tend to send an increase.
She became fed up in February after being notified of a 40% increase, raising her rent to nearly $1,000 per month.
It just didn't make sense when I'm not getting any more space out of it. So that's when I started to look for a warehouse space.
It costs her slightly more, but she sees it as a steal, upgrading from 616 square feet to 1,000, plus an office, a bathroom, space to show her clients, and a contract that spells out any price hikes.
They did lock.
This is good. This is really, really good. So I want to highlight something here. Now, this is a business owner that is storing their items inside of a storage unit. And typically it's cheaper for you versus going to get a warehouse. You're going to pay $2,000, $3,000, or more, or you pay $1,000 for a storage unit and save more money. Right? So as a business owner, it may make sense for you to keep your items in a storage unit. But if you are going to show people your items and, you have your staging business like her, she made the decision that was best for her. But this brings back another point that I shared earlier. If you want to keep reoccurring clients, longevity, just make sure we find balance. Let's get back into it.
And for the year, and then I only have 5% increases annually after that. So at least I know what I need to budget for myself. And again, I have more flexibility to grow as a business where I'm at.
Before moving, Taryn tried negotiating. She said she gave up when she couldn't get through to anyone.
And it's very difficult to get someone on the phone. I've tried emailing. I've called management locally. No one from corporate will respond. They know you can either leave and somebody else will take that spot, or you're going to pay the increase.
According to the most recent Yardi Matrix National Self-Storage Report, demand is strong and occupancy remains ahead of where it normally is. And while rates have held steady the last 3 months, the average rate is still above pre-pandemic levels. George wants to stay for the right price. We went with him to Public Storage to ask about the increases and how they can justify his rent when they're advertising the same sized unit for over $100 less. The front desk couldn't answer our questions and referred us to another location. That associate gave us the corporate phone number. I left voicemails, sent emails, and LinkedIn messages. We haven't received any response to our questions.
They know some people are at a disadvantage and they take advantage of that.
Do you feel like they're just raising the prices because they can?
Because they can.
There aren't any state laws capping these rate increases, so storage facilities can raise their rents however much they want. And George let us know that he just heard back from Public Storage. They've agreed to lower his rate for the next 6 months, saving him $43 a month.
Congratulations to him. So he worked tirelessly and he was able to get his rate lowered for 6 months, which is really, really good. But I want to just share a few tips. Hey, it's Ramel, the 7-figure entrepreneur and self-storage king. I got a quick question for you. What's more important to you than money? Is it time, freedom, having a space to create a better relationship with God? Is it traveling the world? Is it spending time with your kids? What is it? The reason why I ask that is because most people think that money is everything, and money is just the tool that you utilize to get the real goal, which is your freedom, your time, all the things that I just named that you name, right? And the great news is I built the #1 most affordable and wealth building community on the planet for less than $1.50 per day, where I'm going to teach you the blueprint on how to clean your credit, how to get access to funding, how to pay off debt fast, how to buy assets, underwrite these deals, all in one community for less than $1.50 a day. That community is the Mogul Elite Club. So go to moguleliteclub.com or click the link in the description and grab your spot for less than $1.50 per day. I'll see you there. If you are a new business owner in the self-storage industry, or you already have a self-storage, there's a few things that you want to keep in mind. #1, transparency is key. If the customers feel like they can't trust you, there's always some type of hidden cost, there's some type of hidden fee that's never going to go well, and your turnover is actually going to increase. Now, some self-storage operators may feel like, hey, it doesn't matter if my turnover increase because they'll get someone else in there. But we know we like to have reliable, customers. All right. Number two, let's justify the increases. Yes, we have to make money, but if we can show where the money is going, then again, it's justified. So we have other resources such as retail, right? We painted the facility, right? We have some upgrades. It's safe, it's secure. Then it justifies the increases. And the last thing is, add more value beyond just renting out the unit. So for me, when we operate our self-storage facilities, we love to do great things in the community. We'll do give backs, we'll do fundraisers, we'll do donations, just to show that we are not just, being able to service the community from a business standpoint. We're here to serve and give back because we have strong relationship in the community. And we create partnerships with moving companies, right? We create partnerships with transportation companies. We actually offer multiple types of services, notary services, packing and shipping. In fact, one of our self-storage facilities, we turned into a mailbox store. So now that is another component that has just justified the rate increases and justifies the value because it's a one-stop shop. So again, I'm not telling you not to make money. Yes, we're in the business to make money, but let's also make sure that our customers understand where the money is going and that it's justified. And when you have that balance together, then you'll be able to have longevity in the self-storage business. And this is, again, why I love mom and pop, because mom and pop, we have more control, more flexibility versus these corporate stores. It's just a black and white line. All right. So I hope this is valuable for you. And if you need more insight, information in regards to the self-storage business, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, or click the link in the description to join our community so you can learn how to become a self-storage owner.